Okay, hello guys, it's Loretta. Welcome back to my channel. So I am not really set up here to do tutorials very well, but I'm gonna try to demonstrate my sew and flip method for the crazy patch, for crazy quilting. So, and I might have to do it in two parts because I think my camera will only let me do like 15 or 20 minutes. So I take whatever the center block is. It doesn't have to be an image, it can be anything. And I get a piece of muslin or cotton, and this is actually an old pillowcase actually. I take glue, any kind of glue because it doesn't really matter. I just take a glue stick and I glue the back of the image. Careful not to get it on anything else. Sorry if you hear my husband coughing, he's homesick. Anyway, and then I put this, I glue it down, and the reason I glue it is so that you don't get any puckers when you sew it. So, and this image, I have gone over it a little bit with Mod Podge, just so that the ink doesn't rub off, you know. This is actually going to be one of the crazy patches that I'm making to give away for my giveaway. So, and it doesn't have to be on there straight. In fact, I usually make it a little crooked. And then I pick out some fabrics for my, I have glue all over me. I pick out some fabrics. And these are the ones I've picked out for this particular image. So like this came from a lady's jacket. This is just cotton. This is a damask napkin. This is a cotton. This is, I don't know what this is, but yeah. Anyway, I hand dyed it, I know that. This is also from a lady's jacket. I think this is as well. This is just a cotton, and then this is also from a tablecloth. So, so what you're going to do is you're going to pick out your first fabric. I tend to put kind of not as busy fabrics around the image. I try to do like solids or something that's a little more like something like this around the image, and then use the busier ones the further you go out, just so that you can kind of get a good, you know, focus on that. And if you do put something super busy right next to the image, a lot of times what I'll do is then I will use a really thick piece of trim or lace or something like that, so that it tones it down. Also, if there's a specific piece of fabric you're wanting to showcase, remember that the first fabric that goes down is going to mostly get covered. So, so I tend to use, like, if it's something I really want to showcase, I try to use it further out. So I'm going to start with, I think I'm going to start with this cotton right here, actually. So what you're going to do is we're going to do 5 sides, and you're just going to sew around in a, I guess a circle. I guess is what you would call it. So you kind of want to do angles. That's the other thing, is if your image is, you're probably not going to see the outside of your image. So, I don't know, maybe I'll do it more like that. And it might end up only being 4 sides, which is fine. So how the flip and sew method works is that you sew it, you sew right along. It doesn't even have to be a 1/4 inch, it can be 1/8 of an inch. And then you flip it over like that. Okay, so I'm going to try to get this, I can figure out how to, and I'm using my daughter's sewing machine. I've never used it before because mine is broken. So, try to do this quickly. Oh, good Lord, I don't even know like what stitch to use. Well, yeah, that looks good. Oh, that's a little too far. And I know you can't see the sewing machine, but that's okay. this, I mean, everybody knows how to use a sewing machine, so this is really more about the flip method than it is anything else. Okay, and I actually would, if I were you, not do a 1/4 inch. I would do less than that. I hope you can see this, because this is all going to be bulk under here, and you have to embroidery. So you're going to have a lot of bulk. So then you flip it over. So let me move these other fabrics out of the way here. And then I usually just take my iron and kind of reinforce that. But you'll notice I did not sew all the way down, because we're going to have another piece of fabric that goes here, and then you're going to have all this bulk sewn under there. You know, like it'll be sewn down. So I am going to trim. I really hope you guys can see this. So I'm going to trim this, and you know, you can wait until after you have sewn it, but I'm going to trim this just, you know, willy-nilly. I mean, this is what's so great about it. There's literally no rules to this whatsoever. So we've got that. I think I'm going to put this. Okay, so you've got to be careful, because then when you come along, you're going to have to, you basically want to cover this whole piece of muslin. So then I'm going to come along, put a piece here, so you're going to lose part of this. So that's why I said you got to be really careful with what it is you're wanting to showcase. And you also can, you can applique something on, like if you really just want this rose, you could cut it out and applique it onto that. So I think I'm going to wait on that, actually. And I think I'm going to use this green. Maybe I'll use the green. So I'm going to, I want this side up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sew a seam here. As if I can get the sewing machine to work. Alright, so now you flip this down. These napkins and stuff they're not very stiff, so they don't always like do what you want them to do. So now what you want to do is flip this over and just trim this. I hope you guys are seeing this. Trim this along the edge of the block. You don't have to get it perfect, because the last thing you're going to do is you're going to clean it up. So you'll go along the edges with a rotary cutter or something and actually even this all up. So now you have a little bit of excess here. You definitely want to trim that off, which is why you don't want to sew this all the way down, because you'd have all that, and it's a bunch of waste then. I mean, you still end up with waste. Crazy quilting, definitely you do have some waste, but not like you would if you had sewn all that down. Then you'd have a big huge piece. So anyway, so yeah, so then I think I'm going to go with something a little darker over here. So, let's see. Yeah. Just trim this down to size. And you can go around and around and around as many times as you want. Like, if you only want that much fabric showing of this, you can. So, but I'm just going to do this in big pieces. So I'm going to go up here to the edge of that to here, okay? So I'm going to flip it over, and I might actually give it a little more of an angle. Flip it over like that. So this is going to be the part that gets cut off. So I'm going to sew this. You can get confused sometimes and start sewing it on the wrong side, and then it flips the wrong way. I've done that plenty of times. Plenty of times. Okay. And then you flip it back. And so now you've got, I would probably trim this before you iron it, because otherwise it'll make a mark on the fabric. So trim this little piece off. And actually you can trim even this, like if that seam is too big, you can even trim that too. Of course it's not going to work because I'm on camera, right? Isn't that the way it always is? So see, I actually probably should have not sewn quite out so far here, which is easy enough to fix. You just get your little, cut your little stitches out. It's really not that big a deal. There you go. And then you iron it. And you trim it off here. Now, I guarantee you that I'm not going to have this big piece of maroon. I'm going to end up sewing over it. But whatever. This is why you use your scraps for this kind of thing, so that you don't use, you know, something, I guess, that you don't want to have a lot of little pieces left over. But there you go. So when I come back around, I'm probably going to put a piece here, you know, more than likely. So, okay. So we want something to go up here. So I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use that. Now, here's a good lesson to learn. Okay, if you want that there, this is not going to work. You have to have something that goes to the edge. I mean, I guess you actually could do it that way if then you were going to come around and put another piece here, but you can't just leave this like that. So, and also when you do it like this, in order to cover this, you're going to have to come across here with another piece. So you are going to lose like that, you know. So if that's the part that you really like, you might want to rearrange it and move it around. So I'm going to, I think I'm going to do mine like this, which means I'm not going to get any of this pink rose, which I don't like. I want the pink rose in there. So I'm going to try it a different way. Now, that's good. So you're going to notice that there's this little up here. Well, that's fine. At the end of when you're coming back around, you can just sew a little piece on there. So yeah, I think I'll do that. I really hope I'm explaining this well enough. And also, this is really forgiving. So like if you sew something on and you realize that there's a little piece of white showing, you can always just, you know, put a doily there or something. You know, it's not, it really is just not, it shouldn't be anxiety inducing, you know, to sew a crazy patch. It really shouldn't. So, okay, and there you go. So I'm going to get rid of this waist right here, this here. I just got one little stitch I got to get rid of. Oh, maybe two. Trim this off. So I'm going to trim this off. I don't know where my big scissors are. It would probably be a lot easier if I had them. And I'm going to trim this off. And guys, there are lots of different ways to sew a crazy patch. I'm sure there are other videos out there of other people and different ways that they do them. This is just how I do mine. And you can also, if you want to do circles, you know, like if you want some curves, you can certainly get a piece of fabric that, you know, cut a curve and lay it down, and my advice to you is to just glue it down, and then when the block is finished you can come back and then do like a little buttonhole stitch to secure it down if you're wanting kind of, you know, not just right angles or whatever on your block. So I think my camera is probably gonna make me quit now, so I am gonna stop, and then I will come back and show you in another video the ending. Okay, I really hope that this helped you guys in some shape or form. And oh, and I also, like, I'm in my kitchen right now, so I'm just gonna like lift this. Shoot, sorry about that. I'm just gonna lift this and let you guys see my beautiful blue house quilt that I made. I just love that quilt. Anyway, don't look at the mess. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. My challenge is open until November 24th. Please check that out. And I also have a lot of videos up of finished crazy quilts, so you can see finished product of what I'm showing you how to do. So anyway, thank you. Bye-bye.